Hey guys, I know I missed some events here, but let's get into it. So, Apple did their final event this week in the Scary Fast event. They announced 4 new things: the iMac, MacBook Pro, and the 3 chips. The fourth one I don't know where it came from, but nonetheless, at least the M3 chips, iMac, and the 2 MacBook Pros. So within that, let's start with the iMac. The iMac just got a spec bump with the M3. Now, I had said that in this past year that the iMac shouldn't be updated every single year. I don't think it even should have gotten an M2 chip, because I think the M1 Mac was fine for its use case. Like, the people buying it aren't buying it for the Pro for Pro shit. It's probably, if they want that, they can go get a MacBook Pro. That's if they want more power, they can get it in a MacBook Pro, or they can get a studio display, or get a MacBook Mini, Mac Mini. Now that's shelling out some money, but yeah, if you want pro power, then you're going to have to shell out some money for it. I think for the use case, I think it's fair. That amount of power was fair, and I'm glad that they're putting in the base M3 in it, and that's a lot of power in that singular device. And though I do wish there was a little bit of a design change to the iMac. It's fine. It's fine. Like, it came with some candy colors, and that's all you can expect from there. Now, with the MacBook Pros, on the other hand, the MacBook Pros are a bit in a weird situation, because the M3 chips, Apple announced 3 new chips: the M3, M3 Pro, M3 Max. Now, with the M3 MacBook Pros, it starts at 8 gigabytes for the base model, or ordinary M3. That is a horrible deal for a Mac. If you are in a professional field looking to edit anything, you will know that you will need more than 8 gigabytes to complete the task. You need like either 16 might be the bare minimum, but 18, but 32 is the average you need for it. And when you bump that up to 32, you get the M3 Pro. And if you go a little further, you get the M3 Max, yada yada. Do not buy it. Just skip through it and just buy the M3 Pro version, which will suffice you. I don't really see a use case for the M3 M3 version of the MacBook Pro. I mean, it's replacing the M1 iMac with the Touch Bar that was out of date. M2. It was replacing the M2 iMacBook Pro, which was not really okay, but it sufficed. It sufficed, and if you were and the redesign was just with the new Macs were just better, with the new edit ports and the touch bar, which I do think the Mac Pro still should have a touch bar. I think the touch bar should still be there. You don't have to use it, but I think it's still a good utility to use. And you're buying Pro, you're using it for in professional settings. I think the Pro still deserves that. The new M3 chips are a powerhouse, as they always been. The last one was the M2 was kind of like meh. It was kind of meh, because it didn't really add much to it. Like, people were expecting like a big powerhouse of an upgrade, and we just didn't get it with the M2. And plus, the M2 Max were basically like a downgrade from the M1 versions. So because the SSD was slower, though it was a tiny bit faster, powerful. It was a tiny bit powerful. So if you were to buy an M1 version of the M1 Mac, that was fine because it had a faster SSD, and it's still a really good Mac. So you don't need to buy the M2 Mac. But this one actually carried some weight to it. It has a different way. It has a new GPU. I believe it has the Pro has either one new diode in it, and the Max has two, but don't quote me on that. And it allows for ray tracing for gaming. And I believe that is almost pretty much it to it. Yeah, I believe that's all that was added to it. I may be missing some things. I'm just basing this off my memory. But I also wanted to cover in this video the iPhone event, because I did miss that one, and I apologize for that, but I was busy. So I hope you guys understand that. So the Apple event was actually for the iPhones was fairly good, but I was frustrated at points because, so to start with the Apple Watch was, this update is basically, it's the most stupidest update I've seen in a bit. It's a stupid update. It's all they're banking their marketing on is the fact that they're using there is this pinch feature, which let me tell you guys this, it's an accessibility feature that's already in the watch. You're paying more money for an accessibility feature. That's it. There's nothing new, nothing added, just a new accessibility feature. Good job, guys. Good job. That's it. That's what you're paying them a lot of money for. Now the Ultra is still a good price. Still a good price. But the Apple Watch is still, I find that update very stupid. You could say with the 8, at least it was adding something different, adding something new. Even though it was the car crash is a gimmick, you could say it's still a feature. This is basically just marketing off of a feature that's already on the watch and going with it and just making it more powerful. It does have a new chip though. Finally, after 3 years of using the exact same chip that's inside the Series 6 for about 3 years, they finally changed it. So congratulations, Apple. Good job. And for the iPhone, I was actually very happy with it. The iPhone 14 last year was very hard to recommend to people because it was basically a repackaged iPhone 13 with the chip of the Pro, and that frustrated me because you could just buy an iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 and 13 mini were a much better price, much better ideal purchase for the price. And if you wanted a bigger iPhone, go to the Plus. If you wanted a bigger iPhone, go to the Plus. And if you wanted more power, go to the 14 Pro. Go to the 14 Pro or Max. That was it. That was it last year. This time I actually have something to recommend because it now has a dynamic island. It now has USB Type-C. Though it's slower, it's a good deal. And it has a new U1 chip, and it has the same chip as last year, which is good enough. And the Pro is now made by titanium, and it has a new camera only on the Pro Max model. That's it. And when you take pictures, you can now choose for it to now do a portrait, not without changing in portrait mode, which is kind of cool. And I believe that's it for the iPhone event. That is it. But I am happy that now the iPhone 15 is recommendable because I was having difficulty recommending that device. I was having very difficulty because the 14, as said, because of it was a repackaged phone. The only way you were getting at 14 is if it was given to you, or you got it on a deal. Those are the only two ways you're getting a 14. The base 14. I'm getting to, and not to hit those who did do that. I just think that there could have been more done with the phone. The Apple Watch is in that place now. The Apple Watch is in that area of the 14, where it is now very confusing to recommend the watch. Because if you say, what watch do you recommend? Well, if you want the car crash detection, go for the 8. If you don't want the car crash detection, go for the 7. Though the battery life will be shit, mostly because I bet the carrier has had that in the back, or if you're refurbishing it, you're probably most likely going to get a battery change. But if you're getting it from a carrier or from a store, the battery life is going to be garbage because it's been sitting on that shelf for years, and the battery is decaying. That is why. So those are my thoughts on the Apple events this year. I'm interested to see what they do for next year with the Vision Pro coming out. I'm interested to see the reviews on that. I'm not spending money on that. I am not too much. I'm not that much of an Apple shield to do that, but I will be seeing the reviews and making my opinions from that. So, and seeing how other people use it, who have used it, take that on. So, I'll make my opinions on that, and I will talk to you when I see you guys later. So before I leave, I will say enjoy yourselves, inside and out, and make the world a better place. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there's a matte black MacBook Pro.